Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel on episode 2. This video we are going to have a rather detailed discussion on the AutoCAD Plant 3D modules. If you're new here, and which I'm sure that you are, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you don't miss any of our future tutorials. Let's get started. So we're going to discuss today on what's actually inside Plant 3D. And this forms as part of our 3-part series. And today's session is going to be on the modules of AutoCAD Plant 3D. So let's get started. So if you have Plant 3D, you have 4 specific things that it can do. And the first one, there are three things that it can actually do. And first, which being the P&ID module. The P&ID module that's actually within AutoCAD is really tailored to the creation and management of your process, piping, and instrumentation diagrams, or rather P&ID, piping and instrumentation diagrams. So you have an intuitive P&ID module that is extremely user-friendly. This really offers this intuitive, user-friendly interface that makes it accessible to both seasoned professionals and newcomers. If you are a familiar AutoCAD user, you probably know about the tool palette that has similar drag and drop functionality that helps you simplify the process of placing and connecting components on the drawing canvas. That helps you to reduce your learning curve. You have the opportunity on AutoCAD Plant 3D to actually enforce a spec-driven project where you can validate on your P&ID if a certain part of a size or a class exists in a spec. And this spec selection is possible in the P&ID symbol properties. And you can also import some of those properties from the spec into the P&ID symbols. You have a library of standardized symbols and components. So you can access a vast library of symbols, ensuring that your P&ID is very consistent. And at the same time, you can also customize symbols and create your own symbols to meet specific project requirements. Plant 3D does also have the ability for you to integrate your data a lot more seamlessly through annotations and your labels to your components. That really helps you to provide critical information directly on your P&ID. And the fact that it also helps you to automate your own notations when your component properties also change, reducing a lot of those manual effort that you'd alternatively use if you're using vanilla AutoCAD. With robust report generation capability, you can extract information from your P&ID into Excel via the data manager, your equipment list, your valve lists, your schedules, and more, and use this information on Excel to edit information that you can bring that back into your P&ID object. And you can also create bill of materials and create PDF reports, Excel spreadsheets, or Excel spreadsheets, or PDF, or even Word formats using the AutoCAD Plant 3D report creator. So you can tailor your report to meet specific project requirements. Whether you want to ensure that your data and the information in your P&ID is as accurate, to address validation errors, to maintain data integrity, you have a data validation tool within AutoCAD Plant 3D that ensures that the information in your P&ID and your 3D piping models are in line. And if there are any errors or inconsistencies in that information, Plant 3D does have that ability to flag that information. With Plant 3D, you can now utilize a much better and a redesigned P&ID line list that now helps you to to utilize a much more user-friendly and graphical user interface of Plant 3D that allows you to use and graphically see the P&ID information in your project and adding that data into your Plant 3D project. This ensures that what is specifically used in the P&IDs is also as consistent in the 3D piping environment. So this is now where you can actually look at the different ways how you can interoperate between your Plant 3D models and your P&IDs. First one being a simpler workflow where you're setting up your P&IDs, selecting your spec, your line list, and also validating that data. And also now, as an option, enforcing a spec-driven workflow to making sure that the spec has the P&ID part, and you can run that validation within Plant 3D to ensure that the information that is in the P&ID is consistent to what you have on the spec. And you can also acquire all this information from the spec into your P&ID symbols as well. So the third one being the second part, which is the piping and equipment design. You can see that another interface that you can use to model equipment and piping components like your fittings, your pipes, and your valves, defining different properties. You can now also, within Plant 3D, model your equipment, and you have a vast library of equipment that you can use to design your plants, like your pumps, your compressors, vessels, heat exchangers, and all that. And you can also create your own custom equipment. In this case, if you have specific tailored equipment design that need to be created in Plant 3D, you have a dedicated tool that allows you to do that as well. You also have the piping modeling tools that allow you to give you a wide range of options to automatically route your pipes manually. If you want to route them from a spec, from the P&ID line list, as you have previously seen, you can utilize some of that tool palette to add special components into your piping system, like your valves and your strainers as well. If you also want to add very highly modeled, maybe OEM equipment by a manufacturer, maybe supplied as an inventor assembly or a step file or any CAD format, you can use Inventor to convert that equipment into an AutoCAD Plant 3D custom equipment. And this requires you to have Inventor. If you're using any other application, if your manufacturer is using an application such as SolidWorks, as an example, you can bring that into an Inventor and then now export that as an Autodesk Plant 3D equipment. You also have an option of bringing in native step files, STP files, into Plant 3D and also convert them into equipment. That makes it easier. So that means you can overall improve your design quality by working with highly detailed models from other vendors. So the structural modeling part, you have a dedicated tool that, as you can see here, that helps you to model structures. So the structures in Plant 3D do not really require spec because the modeling can be done in the 3D piping itself. And you will see that you start modeling once you select the right members of your structure. And there are several options for modeling, like your steel, your handrails and railing, your stairs and ladders, as well as your grating, as well as being able to model your concrete footing, and with robust tools within the interface that allow you to do a lot of those necessary things to modify some of those selected structures. With interoperability in Plant 3D, especially on the structure side, you can interface Plant 3D structure models into tools like Autodesk Advanced Steel. If you want to exchange your 3D structure into AutoCAD Autodesk Advanced Steel for detailed connection design. You can also exchange that information from Plant 3D into Revit for detailed connection design. You can have Revit and Advanced Steel interoperability working together, and the fact that you can also bring in for structural analysis and code checking. Bring this model into Robot Structure Analysis Professional. If you have the Autodesk AEC collection, you will definitely enjoy the interoperability of all these different products. So that really helps you to bring a lot more functionality when it comes to bringing high fidelity structural models of your plant from Plant 3D to your structural engineers and detailers, either using Advanced Steel or Autodesk Revit, and also your structural engineers who are using Structural Analysis Professional as your code for your structural analysis application. I will later on in this learning series maybe bring in show you a detailed video tutorial on how you can be able to interface between the three different software. We come to the end of this video, and I also appreciate you for your patience. If you found this video a lot more helpful, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment with your feedback. If you have any questions that you have, also leave them on the chat. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you can never miss an update. I hope to see you in the next video.